Hola, compadre.
Hola, friendo.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Thank you? It's birthday, right?
It's either that or I wished you a happy new year. But I'm pretty sure I wished you a happy birthday.
Well, thank you for either of those. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, good tidings either way.
It was a good one. I did get a text from you on my birthday, which was yesterday. Yeah, I do appreciate that.
Skype reminded me.
Skype?
Yeah. I have definitely
Interesting.
fallen off. I was not good at it to begin with. And now that I don't have Facebook, I've probably missed dozens.
True.
And of all the things, I just happen to be moving my laptop. And this is no slight to you. Kevin Lee gets mad at me every year because I always miss it. Just always way off. I always think his birthday is 2 days off of what Zach's actual birthday is, so I never get Zach's either. The only one I remember is Joey Finati's because it's D-Day, which is just the worst thing. Anyway.
I wouldn't know D-Day. It's funny you mentioned that about Zach because he texted me on my birthday claiming that it wasn't my birthday. His claim was that my birthday was in fact April 24th. I don't know where he was getting his information from.
What did he text you?
He just said, your birthday is the 24th.
just that declarative sentence.
And I was like, no.
Right. Just, I'm here to let you know, like you've been subpoenaed or whatever. Like I will fight this tooth and nail, you dirty bastard. Definitely a worthy cause to dig in. He's dying on that hill, and I commend the spirit, to be honest. I mean, it's blatantly false, but.
You said it with such authority. I was like, wait.
Hey, chutzpah can get you far in this world.
Right.
No doubt.
So yeah, it was nice getting to chat with both of you a little bit.
Yeah. Well, birthdays are to be celebrated.
It was probably one of my best birthdays yet.
Ooh.
And it's because it was so far from...
Before you get into it, can you tell me what your worst birthday was? Just so I can get a little glimpse of the range we're looking at here.
I don't know. I don't know if I can recall like a bad birthday.
Okay, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you need to have a shitty one to like be a person. Like they're allowed to be some of the better days ever, and it wouldn't surprise me if they usually were.
I do have one memory. It's not like a bad birthday, but it was kind of something that to this day still makes me a little sad.
Okay.
I love strawberry flavored things, whether artificial or naturally flavored.
Okay.
And that actually comes from, I was in theater camp as a kid, and there was this girl named Kia they had 3 different ice cream scoopers, one for each flavor, and I thought she was cute. So I got whatever ice cream she was serving, and fittingly for a redhead, she was serving strawberry ice cream, and I've been a fan ever since. But my mom asks what kind of cake I wanted for my birthday. I was maybe 9, and I told her strawberry. So she's on her way to the store, and my former stepbrother, he goes, "Oh, so you're going to have a pink birthday cake?" And he was like making fun of me for it. So I called my mom and I was like, I changed my mind. I want vanilla because I didn't want him to keep making fun of me for having a pink birthday cake.
Damn, that does sound like Corey. He has since chilled out in his older age. Like every year, 11, it's gone down slowly but surely. I think he'd even be willing to admit that at whatever age you're describing was probably peak whatever it was.
Right. So I mean, just stereotypical gender normative Corey. I mean, my God.
I don't know if I would go as far as to say that is the one characteristic we're going to slap on Corey before moving forward. Yeah, Corey. Look him up. Gender normative is totally the thing that we should just leave everyone with when thinking about that guy. But we will move on. Just know that we have not gone past skin deep on Corey Burek by saying that phrase. Perhaps we'll do an episode on him later. But
sure.
The flavor thing is weird. My mom would have questioned me on that, I think, because one of my most like scarring memories was we were stopped at lunch on I-90 somewhere in Ohio, and basically I ordered blueberry pancakes, and I was like in the peak preteen years or whatever, and she just was like, "Are you sure?" And I was just not having it that day. Like in front of this adult waitress, like, how dare she question. Like, even if I wasn't going to like it, I was prepared to, like, live with my choice. And I stormed out of the restaurant and sat in the car for like an hour while they finished their meal and joined me later.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was the worst, I guess, basically. But it's been like obviously a very funny running joke. And that gets brought up every time. And sometimes she'll do it without thinking and she'll still like, oh, have you ever had? I'm like, Mom, it's so odd. It's like the weirdest glitch. Like, and I still get oddly humiliated by it. But if I would have ordered a strawberry cake, she would have been like, oh, have you ever? It's like, Mom. She's the most giving, loving person ever. And it like extends into like this realm of, like, are you sure? I really want you to enjoy this breakfast. Like, just let me try and fail at this particular fruit that sometimes gets put into pancakes. She's lovely, but that is probably the worst teen moment I think I ever had.
That's incredible.
I like that your mom just kind of, without question, was just going to be like, all right, I guess strawberry cakes are what we do now.
Right. It might have been strawberry icing, now that I think about it.
Strawberry ice cream cake from DQ or something, I bet, probably would have been an option as well.
Well, anyways, this
You want to keep going on this, or?
No.
No? If you have ever tasted any weird tasting food items, tweet at the show at _reminiscentfm.
There we go.
Specifically odd fruit flavored items. Or rhubarb. Anything rhubarb related, hit us up at _reminiscentfm. Don't you be talking that rhubarb smack to me, you son of a I'll dive right back into that with you. Without hesitation.
But anyways, moving on.
Well, are we? No. Yeah. How is your life now that you are an old boy?
It was good, man. The birthday itself was amazing because it was very...
Oh, yeah. You didn't even describe how good your day was. Please do.
Dude. It was just a very normal day, which I enjoyed. Woke up, read the paper a little bit, and then Megan and I built our raised bed gardens, went out, bought a bunch of compost to mix with the soil we already had, made our raised beds, took all the plants out for a couple hours to harden in the spring sun, watched some movies, ate some steak.
What movies?
No, we didn't watch movies. We just watched a bunch of Gilmore Girls.
Oh, nice.
Which is going second round through the whole series. I'm already looking forward to the third round.
Okay.
And it was just such a nice day. And I was talking to Megan about it. She was like worried that she didn't like pull off all the stops or something. Like, I hope you enjoyed it. I know it wasn't really too much of like anything. Like, she wanted to go out of town. And for me, I enjoy that more because that's just a Sunday that can be replicated at any time. It wasn't this huge thing where we go out of town and spend all this money and do something extravagant, because then that only happens once a year. But this day was so awesome that we can do it next Sunday if we wanted to, and do it every weekend. And I don't know, it just doesn't set expectations too high. It was perfect. And
yeah, doing stuff
really
adds
enjoyed
stress for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Highway driving or parking in an urban area like downtown and parallel parking. I don't know. It's just sometimes when it's your birthday, you don't have to deal with that stuff, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I just want
it was
little effort as possible with maybe some cake and some entertainment, probably within this house.
Yeah.
Like doing nothing. There's a lot of good that can happen in doing nothing, I feel like.
Right. She was like, do you want to invite friends over? And I was like, no, why do I want to do that?
Right. Although I'm not going to sit here and say that parties are not fun either. I do enjoy a nice social gathering, but what you described is very lovely as well.
I think though, what was it? My 12th birthday when I had like the 12 guys from 8th grade.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was normal teen antics up until it got insanely violent.
Holes through the wall.
Yeah, I think James thought it'd be funny to wake up Steve with just a direct open hand slap to the face. Which, I don't know if it was like the Johnny Knoxville era of Logic.
It absolutely was.
Hormone-fueled young folks. But that's exactly what he went for. And Steve... I'll never forget the look in his the look of fear in his eyes when he woke up. Oh, I'm sorry. And then in his haze, tried to swing back. Oh man, it just missed so badly. It went right through the drywall. Just the largest.
I think he kicked someone or something through the drywall.
Oh,
there was just a huge hole.
Hormonal anger. Just luckily, it wasn't a load-bearing wall. Of course, that would have been detrimental to all of us, to be sure, because there was a lot of. I think there was more behind that punch than just the unwarranted slap, perhaps. But man, that went from 0 to 60 quite fast.
I didn't want to get in trouble, so we just moved the couch in the basement to cover that wall and just told my mom that's where I wanted it. And she didn't see that hole until we were selling the house.
Oh, no.
And like the realtor rearranged stuff and was like, oh, there's a hole in the wall.
That's
from
new.
3 years before.
Something we'll have to address for sure.
Not happy about that.
No, yeah, I can't imagine so. Poor Steve. Oh God, that was such a cruel act. Just
just slapped.
I can't even really think. I mean, that's got to. Oh God, just the worst sleepover behavior. I mean, it's one thing like the stuff in the movies where you put the hand in the water to try to induce, go to the bathroom while you're asleep. But this was just not even clever. It's just
just physical violence.
Yeah, there's no way he can defend himself. Just complete. I don't. It's not funny, really.
It's a little funny.
Yeah. Oh, I don't mind telling the story because it wasn't me. Right? It wasn't me.
Right. No.
Right. Okay. I'll just sell somebody else down the river. Maybe get rid of the names later or something. But anyway, so that was your worst birthday.
No, that was one of the best.
Oh, okay. So you're saying parties can be fun too?
Sure.
Well, nice. Well, that does sound nice. And you, this has been a year of growth for you. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Or a year of refocusing your energy, perhaps?
Yeah, there's been a lot, man. A whole lot going on between the work stuff, and I just bought Megan's wedding ring yesterday. That was...
This is the band part?
Yeah, the band.
Getting close.
Whew, 2 months from today, Pat.
Yeah, wow. It's going to be an important year. You are 27, and you are going to be a married man in exactly 2 months.
Yeah, and actually my birthday present to myself this year, my favorite podcast, Hello Internet, talked about me for maybe 2 minutes because I proposed to Megan wearing one of their t-shirts, so they kind of gave a shout out and talked about it. So my birthday present to myself, I got, it's kind of a joke from the podcast, but I got just that segment of the show cut onto vinyl, and I got custom stickers and a case made for it that will be arriving in a couple weeks. And
how much do you mind if I ask how much that cost?
It's only $25 actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Huh. I know a guy, he was actually a touring musician, and he has this old record cutting lathe from the 50s or something. Huh. So it cuts in real time, one at a time. So doing a one-off actually isn't that bad because that's kind of what they're made for. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I took their podcast artwork and changed it a little bit. So I'll have a record of them talking about me. And I'm hyped.
And you're going to frame
it? That show
means
a lot to me. I'm just going to listen to it.
There you go. Why not? Something you should do with records, to be sure.
Yeah. So that was just kind of a fun combination of wedding and birthday stuff that I was, a little treat yourself moment. And excited to have that.
I mean, you're a stockholder now, so you got to treat yourself a little.
Oh, yeah. I've got all my assets wrapped up right now.
Yeah. Well, hey, assets, you know me.
Oh, I know you, finance boy.
That's right. That's what they call me. That's what everybody calls me. Even my parents. Yes, sorry. You wrote bees, and I was trying to transition, but I do not know the story, and I am very curious. After all these pleasant things are listed, the word bees is also there.
Oh, Megan got me not a beehive, but a bee house.
Oh,
for my
I didn't
birthday.
Know those existed. Oh, to make honey?
No, well, that's the thing. There won't be honey in them. It's just like a place for them to chill and give birth.
Is that not what a hive is?
I guess not. I mean, there's no honey to be made in these, I guess.
Okay.
It's like, it looks like a big birdhouse with a bunch of bamboo tubes in it that they kind of chill in.
That sounds
and we're going to
good.
put it close to the garden. Like, I really want to keep bees, but it's a ton of work. And for someone who's not, like, we might be at this rental house for a couple years, but not long enough to justify, like, getting a whole colony involved, you know?
Right.
Because it's not super
Because
good to
then when you
move them
leave, you
around.
got to split them up and
Yeah.
bees
No good.
of divorce are, they're never quite right. Sometimes they lash out, and you don't want to do that to a bee.
But I am very excited about my bee house.
Well, yeah, as you should be. Have you named them, or are there too many?
No, I
And
mean,
if
it's
there
not
are
up
too
yet.
many, why aren't you up to the challenge?
Name them all. It's not up yet.
Oh,
And
okay.
they're not really going to be bump until the summer.
You could name one and then refer to them all as that.
If you have any suggestions, you can tweet at the show
Yeah.
at _reminiscent FM. What should all the bees be called?
I like it. That was probably the best Twitter tease we've had in 2 years.
You say Twitter tease, but I don't know if it's a tease or a call to action, or I guess it doesn't really matter. It's just Matt. Anyways.
Yeah, people have not Yeah, maybe tease is the wrong word. Whatever it is, we have not done it effectively, to be sure. There are dozens of listeners, but one person who interacts with us on Twitter, so go figure. But yes, this week we wanted to delve into a little bit. You were lamenting a bit about your former venture, Elemental FM, which was the primary start for this show and a few others.
Yeah.
Because you are, as we've mentioned, a little older and a little wiser than you were last week.
Right. Right.
You have leveled up.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I've been thinking Elemental FM originally was going to be a podcast network where by this point I wanted to have about 10 shows. I'm supposed to be making money, and I had this whole really poorly thought out business plan. And along the way, we picked up some people who wanted to write. And since I started editing professionally for money, and now that I'm like going part-time at my job for all the editing, just wondering, like, what do I do with Elemental? Because there's this guy, Brian, who's been writing a little bit for it, and he just kind of wants a place to write, and I just kind of want a place for people to be able to, like, post their stuff if they want to. But it's just, I just feel like it's really nothing right now, and the website and everything actually does cost me quite a bit of money every month. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, do I go back, since I'm just editing now, do I go back to my company, which was Clean Cut Audio? Do I reinstate that LLC, dissolve Elemental? I don't know. I just paid for that to be an LLC. Do I do a DBA for Clean Cut? Does any of it actually matter at all what it's named? I just don't know, because a part of me does feel like, oh, it's like my baby. It's this thing I worked on, but it hasn't really gone too much of anywhere, which is fine. I don't have a problem like admitting that or coming to terms with that, but I don't know. Just what do I do? Also, that got me thinking about when I first wanted to do Clean Cut Audio, I didn't have any clients or anything. I was just getting scammed on Upwork. But I didn't really like it because it wasn't they weren't my shows. It wasn't something I was helping create. And that's when I started Elemental, because I wanted to be a part of the creative process. So if I do switch to Clean Cut, how am I going to feel about that? Is it going to affect the way that I work? Because it's going to be just a reminder that, like, this isn't my stuff. I'm just some kind of guy in the background that, I mean, the people that I edit for, Pat, don't even know I exist, because I'm subcontracted by another editor. So right. When they give me notes in the episode to clean something up, they don't even call me by my real name. They call it by
what do they
because
call you?
They don't know that I'm there. They think I'm the other person.
What do they say?
It's just either Matthew or Jeremy or whoever the client happens to be, whoever they're,
You should call the bees one of those two names.
Yeah. But yeah, so a part of me is kind of conflicted on that, because I think if I had a choice, I would want a show that I was a part of, whether in front of the mic or not. I would want that to be what makes the money, because I love thinking about the different marketing stuff and waste. Like the things I was doing for Elemental, it was horribly unsuccessful, but I loved it, you know?
And you learned a lot.
I learned, yeah, it was so worth it. Like I say unsuccessful in the fact that we didn't have 50,000 listeners by the end of 6 months, but it was a huge success in terms of experience and getting me all the jobs I'm doing now. Cause I could say I've done 150 episodes in the past 9 months. I have a lot of experience, you know, I've crammed a lot of those hours into 1 year. So it wasn't a failed experiment, but wasn't successful in the metrics I was trying to give it. It was very useful, but I don't know.
Do you foresee a pivot coming in I don't know, the way you're doing your stuff, or a change? Or I guess I talked to you a little bit before we started about is there going to be an end to this show, for example, which might be a tough topic, but it's worth bringing up. I don't think it's totally out of the blue. You know, what did you foresee, I guess, happening? Oh, I don't know. Like, what if you have a full-time slate or 60 hours a week of pure editing and you're making good money and some things have to go by the wayside, or maybe you pivot the show for more listeners, or what if you were the interviewer and I was a guest, or I don't know. Did talking to Ari open your eyes to anything? To going to the podcast conference open your eyes to things you might have wanted to try? Now that Elemental is something that you wrote in the show notes as something that you want to possibly just kill, the LLC in general. Is there stuff you wish you could have tried that you can now moving forward, now that you're, I guess, kind of freed from it?
I mean, I don't think it's really taking up any of my time. It's just a money thing. You know, I think it's like $50 or $60 a month for the domain and the web hosting. So right. I'm not putting any time into it.
60 a month?
Something like that. The FM domains are expensive, but
I would say, I didn't know that. Burn it down. Burn it all down. That's not worth it. There's no way that's worth it. That's nuts. Right? That's crazy.
Well, here's the thing,
$60 a month?
Here's the thing. Either way, Reminiscent has to have a website. So
do we though?
Yeah.
Do we though?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not. I mean,
you can use Libsyn's free podcast page, but it's ugly as shit. You know, I like the way our show notes look. So I would just turn Elemental into a Reminiscent website, and then I'll be paying, you know, $25 a month for that. But then you can't really do anything else with it. I kind of like the fact that Elemental is there in case something comes along. Not to mention, I have $60 in ad revenue that I've made off of articles that I wrote, and Google AdSense doesn't give you a payout until you cross $100. So I feel like I need to gain another $40 of ad revenue before I shut the site down, or else I just lost $60. But
don't you lose that every month?
No, it just goes into like a pool. So once you hit $100, they give you.
Right, but I mean, like you're paying $60 a month.
Oh yeah. So over time, if I keep it for another 2 months, then you know
you're like gaining 100 back on many hundreds not given back.
Right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't like either I'm an absolute idiot or this math is heading in one direction fast.
I mean, Elemental, like the LLC doesn't really need to go anywhere. I can still pay taxes through that and operate under that for the editing work. But I don't know. It's just kind of like rebranding.
Oh, okay. Well, then why don't you just make it that then?
I don't know. I mean, I like the clean cut audio because it's like ironic, you know?
I mean, you can't sue yourself. Just use the same logo, right?
I don't know. I need to figure it out. It is kind of hard to think about because I worked super hard on it, but I don't feel like it was in vain. So I don't have an issue with letting it go. But I just keep thinking like this guy, Brian, who's writing, wants to do essentially what we wanted to do with Carnage, like publish a chapter of this novel he's been writing every week. And I just want, like, he wants to do it and he doesn't have a website. So I just want to be like, hell yeah, dude, do it. You know, he has the logins and stuff so he can just post it. And part of me doesn't, if the site was active and people were posting on it, like for the writing stuff, I wouldn't mind paying the $60 a month. Cause then it's like, you're giving people a voice, you know, it's like just a hobby. Maybe you get some back in ad revenues, but now it's just like nothing's happening and I'm paying for it. So I'd rather have it just go away or be active, and I'd rather have it just be active.
Right.
But then again, I don't really know. There's no business strategy to it. It's just like, well, it's a place for people to do stuff, but like, why does it necessarily have to be me involved? I don't know. It's,
That just sounds like a lot of money every month.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately at this point right now, it just needs to go away. I need to cancel whatever subscriptions and stuff that I
couldn't
have.
you just have somebody contribute to your Elemental blog on like a free blog website?
Well, then it just then the content belongs to someone else and doesn't look good. I don't know.
Does the content belong to someone else?
If it's on like one of those blogger sites, I don't even know it exists anymore, but like Blogspot stuff, it's not like your website. It's just like a page on someone else's website. So I like
right, but you own the content.
I don't know.
I'm just saying it doesn't cost $60 a month.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that I'm willing to pay extra to have things how I want it. So if it came to that, I just wouldn't do it because then it wouldn't feel like it was mine.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, our views of, I guess, how to spend money are different, I think, as we've learned on this show.
Yeah.
Because they were like, yeah, let's write another book. It's like, cool, let's make some artwork up. I'm like, no. No, I'm not spending money on that. Like, we haven't even written anything yet.
But you will spend money on a Twitter bot.
I would spend $20 if Matt was just going to like let Twitter tweet the whole book out. I think that's a good use of $20.
It would be $25. We'd each pay $25.
Okay, yes.
So you would make the stretch to $25.
I would be willing to stretch to $25. Yeah. It would get it out there.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like spending money. I don't like money. I don't like doing anything. Everything's bad.
I feel you,
everybody
man.
For everything.
I spent so much in the past couple of days. It is ridiculous.
You're a dreamer, my man. That's why you have had the cojones to start several businesses yourself. I'm not trying to say your way's a bad way at all.
Well, here's another thing, Pat. Another reason why I'm thinking about shutting Elemental down is because I'm thinking about launching a new company.
Oh, well, I would say do that. Move on to the next venture.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just kind of fun to say the phrase, let's burn this mother down.
Right.
Like, just exciting. Like, I'm not even employed or a part of it. It's just like, yeah, dude, fucking torch it. It's like, what?
But I think going back to what you were saying about not doing this podcast anymore,
right?
I feel like I would only stop doing this podcast if you were.
And this is coming from a place, and I don't mean to cut you off, but
Sure.
That is kind of the whole show. It's just me doing that every 2.5 minutes. Every time I call you or we call each other, I don't know, you seem very tired and busy and not overworked per se. And I know this is a nice way for two old friends to catch up, but I can't help but think it adds, I don't know, your plate runneth over. Or no, the cup runneth over and things are on the plate. You know what I'm trying to say.
There's a bowl somewhere.
There's things in things, but too much of the original thing.
This is like a nice break for me. I'm usually stressed out when we get on the phone because something in my audio rig isn't working. Just when you have a lot of pieces, more things could go wrong. Usually Mondays are very heavy editing days, so I'm coming into this after 8 hours of work and several hours of editing. But listening back to this show, even though it is more work, it adds another 3 hours of work into my week. It is so much fun for me, and it's something, like I said, it's a creative outlet, whereas before with the clean cut stuff, it was just all working for other people. So I feel like if I didn't have the creative thing, I don't really know where I would get the pleasure aspect of audio from. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you begged me to stop, or if you had to for some reason, sure.
Okay.
I feel like I would only stop on my own accord if for some reason we stopped being friends or I just didn't feel like talking to you anymore. But
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't want to stop.
If you ever do
this.
that, could you just write it in a letter? Calligraphy, please.
You don't want me to tell you live on the air?
Yeah, pretend you're in a battlefield riding home. Patrick, on the morrow, this will become a relevant contract. But I am full of sorrow to inform you.
So for all you listeners out there, don't worry. I don't plan on going anywhere. I know you were sweating it for a second.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, I'm getting this part-time job. Sounds promising. So,
and you're going to go to Texas and stay there forever?
5 days, which we need.
Oh, so it's not forever?
I need to figure out how I'm going to edit while I'm out there. But yeah, it sounds like it's going to happen. I did the ride along last week. It went well. The job is super easy. Yeah, so I'm going to be switching over to part-time soon. So there's more time for this podcast. We should go to twice a week, actually.
Sure. Let's do it. Every day.
Daily 45-minute podcasts. Sounds
That's right.
great. Well, geez, is that it?
The only reason it would be is because my beloved Jessie is sick and I am in the bedroom and she would need to like get her rest or go to bed at some point.
I didn't even think about that. You're in.
Yeah. No, I had mentioned it earlier before we started recording, but yes, no, she just got home from work. She gets off pretty late, but we're going to pump her up full of NyQuil and just see what happens, I think. No, edit that out. That sounded funnier in my head. She's going to take NyQuil and probably try to get some rest.
Okay. You want to give a quick song of the week and then we'll get her to bed?
Yes. John. Do I have a song recommendation this week? No, I guess would be the most simple way to say it.
Okay.
I don't know. Every good song thing I've come across. Plus, you gave me 2 albums to kind of dig into, and I'm working my way through that.
Oh, you are working your way through it right now.
I guess both the Wonder Years album you gave me, which is not new, but I still want to listen to it, and the Moose Blood one that's new. I don't know. I still spending some time with that Kacey Musgraves album. I don't know. I don't want to like. This is going to sound dumb because we are doing a show and whatever, but you know, if it's good, I don't want to like be like, well, that was nice. Glad I found that. Like on doing it. You know, it's like
right.
I'm really digging the Golden Hour album by Kacey Musgraves right now. So I think I'm up to 3, almost 1 a month. Maybe I'll get into a 4th by the time April's over. But so far, Jeff Rosenstock and Kacey Musgraves and Charlie Bliss are my 3 albums this year that I've enjoyed.
Wow. Okay.
I know. I've been getting into them. I like them a lot.
It's crazy. All right. Well, I've been listening to a lot of Jurassic 5 lately. What's Golden is a classic. Maybe some of you can revisit that. And with that, let's burn this mother down.
With what would we use? Blowtorch?
Sure. I should have ordered the Boring Company flamethrower, but I did not.
Yeah. Perhaps. As an Elon fanboy, that would be your only arson option, I think.
Right. In this,
only true Tesla fans can relate or whatever. Some crap like that.
In this hypothetical.
Well, all right, man. Yeah, sorry to cut it short this week, but yes, I hope you're getting your rest. Hello to Megan. Hello to Levi. And hello to everyone else who's listening.
Hello and goodbye.
You know, I was watching a music video of theirs the other day. Touchdown Turnaround, I think it was. No, it was Shimmy Shimmy Quarter Turn.
Yes, dude.
I was like, that was a different time.